I want to now hand over to Pat Ranald. Pat Ranald is someone who is an absolute dynamo of trade justice. It is fair to say that so many bad things would be happening for this community and more broadly if it wasn't for the excellent research, scrutinising, advocacy, coalition building that Pat Ranald has done. It is fair to say that she is a deep inspiration to me, and she's certainly someone who has so much influence and so much ability to bring people together to fight for global justice and for trade justice in particular. So to make a toast for 20 years of AFTINET, it gives me great pleasure to ask Pat Ranald to speak.
Hi, everyone. I want to acknowledge, of course, that I'm here on Gadigal land and land that was never ceded, and pay respects to elders past and present. I want to thank everyone who's online with us tonight, but I also want to express my thanks and solidarity to everyone who's been involved in AFTINET over the last 20 years. Our 60 organisational members include unions, churches, environment, public health, aid and development, retirees, women's, human rights and other community groups. And we have many more individual members as well. We're entirely funded by our members, and I want to give special thanks to those individuals and organisations which give us the regular donations that have sustained and supported our part-time campaigners. I've been inspired by the persistence and enthusiasm of our members, and especially of all of those who've worked as campaigners and been involved as volunteers in the working group and in fundraising and all the different projects that we've organised. I hope you enjoyed the video, which reflects some of the fun, colour and movement of our campaigns, as well as the hard slog of writing submissions and publications and talking to a meeting with trade negotiators and politicians. We were inspired to form AFTINET by the successful community campaign against the MAI, and we've always had a positive vision for something, for fair trade based on human rights, labour rights and environmental sustainability. We've always rejected the narrow nationalism and racism of Hanson and Trump, and our campaigns have always been based on international solidarity. And although it's always often seems like a hard slog, we do have some definite achievements. Before AFTINET, the Australian government only ever spoke to business about trade agreements, and there was very little public debate about them. I think first and foremost, we've put community organisations on the map as legitimate voices in the trade debate, and governments know they have to talk to us. We've also been, even if they don't listen a lot of the time, we've also been a constant voice in both mainstream and social media and community media that has raised the issues of the role of global corporations and the social impacts of trade agreements. Secondly, we have had some success in specific campaigns to expose some of the worst proposals and keep them out of trade agreements. So together with sister organisations in other countries, we kept corporate rights to sue governments, ISDS, out of the US-Australia Free Trade Agreement. And we also beat back US attempts in that agreement to undermine the pharmaceutical benefit scheme. We exposed and defeated proposals in the WTO to treat water as an international commodity, and we defeated proposals for longer medicine monopolies in the TPP after the US left the agreement. Trade law experts are now admitting that ISDS, or corporate rights to sue governments, they're now facing a legitimacy crisis. Community campaigns here and in other countries have kept ISDS out of both the current EU-Australia free trade negotiations and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP. So it looks like we have kept ISDS out of those two agreements, but we won't know for sure until we see the text. Global community campaigning has also prompted a review of ISDS by international institutions like the United Nations and the World Bank. And even the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade here in Australia is currently reviewing Australia's bilateral agreements that contain corporate rights to sue governments. Thirdly, we've exposed the secret and undemocratic trade agreement process to we've exposed the secret and undemocratic trade process to public debate, including the latest current inquiry by the Joint Standing Committee on Treaties, which gives us another chance to raise all these issues. So we can be proud of our achievements, and I must say they're achievements we've all achieved together. It's not just any single person, but we still have plenty of work to do. So I want to propose a toast to AFTINET and to all of you and everyone else who's worked in solidarity with us over the last 20 years. Let's keep up the struggle for trade justice. Cheers.
Cheers to AFTINET.